Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here, Professor of the Covenant, breaker of the seven seals. Welcome, brothers and sisters. Today we're going to talk about Exodus in somewhat detail. This is Exodus part 1. First, FARRAKHAN. Again, brothers and sisters, we will never let anyone forget FARRAKHAN. They can downplay it, whitewash it, call it slavery, all the BS that they do, critical race theory. There's no theory. They can do all those things they want to do. Not going to change the fact of what happened. It wasn't just slavery. As the Abrahamic covenant says, who served them, enslaved by them, and afflicted by them. So if it was the same thing, they wouldn't have to have the and afflicted. Afflicted was in slavery. Slavery is the economic part of what we went through, very small portion. Went through horror cost. 460 some years of total, abject, complete horror, terrorism. You're maintaining horror by terror. America's a terrorist nation, and they wreaked horror on us for over 400, nearly 500 years. The horror cost. So stop letting them fool you with this BS slavery. That was just the economic, the capitalist part of it. Maximum profit, minimum overhead. Working you without paying, that's slavery. Beating you, raping you, castrating you, disemboweling, right? Tearing you apart, whatever. I mean, there was no bounds. There was no limit to their beast actions upon us. If they were angels, they would have made us angels. They would treat us like angels. But they were beasts. They made us into beasts and treated us like beasts. That's exactly what they did. You can tell a lot about the product from the manufacturer, looking at the manufacturer. So we're going to move on, brothers and sisters. Exodus. Now, Exodus is a book that's talked about our history, present and future, not past. That's the lie they tell you to keep you, to destroy, to take your sight from you, to blind you. Because the Bible is our foresight, and they know it. So they tell you it's hindsight, blind you. So it's like taking a person that can't see with only their glasses, taking their glasses off. And that's what it is. They remove your glasses. They tell you, oh, you don't need, that's hindsight. You're driving down the highway, 70 miles an hour, and they deceive you into thinking that the rearview mirror is your front mirror. If you just do an example, do a test. Look at Exodus as it's happening now into the future and see things will become clearer. See if people don't become identified. Farrakhan is the last one who wants you to do that because he'll be exposed as being Aaron, the deceiver, the liar, the coward. So he said, oh no, the people that it exposes, obviously, they would not want to be exposed, and they would tell you, oh no, you can't believe that. So that's in the past. That happened in the past, but you never did. We're going to move on, brothers and sisters. This is part 1. Maybe in part 2 I'll be more elaborate, because I meant to take more time with this, but things came up. So I'm going to move this rather quickly. I'm going to cover a lot of stuff. So let's proceed. Hold on for a second, brothers and sisters. Okay, brothers and sisters. First, we're going to define the angel key. You need the angel key to unlock the rest of the scriptures. The scripture under a veil, and you need a key to unlock it. So we're going to briefly give you the explanation of the key. Bear with me, brothers and sisters. Okay, brothers and sisters. I gave you an example of what the key looks like. Now we're going to apply it to Exodus. Now, Exodus, the key explains everything about Exodus. Without the key, you have no idea what they're talking about. So here's the key, and I define who everyone is on the key in reference to Exodus. So Master from high is the God. He comes and meets Elijah. See, they're two together. He comes and meets Elijah. Comes to America and meets Elijah. Now, Levites, there's three tribes. There's the Levite tribe, tribe of Shabazz, and the Hindi tribe. Those are three original tribes. So they're all original. But we, tribe of Shabazz, lived in between both of them. We lived in North Africa, what is called Arabia. And Levites, they lived in what you call Africa proper now. And the Hindi is a Hindu Kush and all up in that area. Those three tribes. So as you understand here. So when I see Levite, that's the African tribes. So Master Muhammad comes, he meets Elijah, right? So he raised Elijah and Aaron, his brother. Now, why do they call Aaron his brother? And why do we care if Aaron's brother's cousin, his uncle, mother, father? Because the key tells you that. Because they share the same position on that key. And that's the position of the brother, if you understand how the key works, the symbolism. They're together. That's why he calls him Aaron, his brother. You have to understand angel key, you know what that means. They're together. He chooses Elijah chooses Aaron as, right, as his spokesman. Even though Master Muhammad, God was against it. Then he sets Elijah on the throne. Elijah on the throne, right? And he leaves. And Elijah, right, he teaches the whole original nation. Now, why do I have demons there? Because it says that the original nation was corrupted by half to rape master seed. That's the chaff that was sown amongst the wheat. It says that half the black people in America are demons. They're master's children. All this stuff out. Just because your skin makes you black, no, it might make you black. They're skin folk, not kinfolk. The sperm is the life. You are what your father is. They're devils, just black-faced devils. Those are demons. Half devil, half man. So that's the original nation there. Been corrupted. 1/3 of it are demons. So we see this green demon here. That's the chaff that was sown amongst the wheat. And Elijah was told to minister to both of them. Do not separate them. Not for him to do that. Just minister to both of them. He's ministering to both of them. Now, I'm not moving these things around arbitrarily. There's a system to it, right? That once you learn the angel, you understand how that works. I'm not going to go into detail about that here. Then while he's teaching, the messenger of the covenant suddenly arises at his temple, as it says in Malachi. Suddenly arises. That's Suleiman. That's the star or the sun in the angel. Angel. That's the way the angel key works. Okay. Then Elijah, after the messenger of the covenant arrives, soon after, the messenger departs back up to Master Farrakhan. Then comes the falling away. Then comes the falling away. Because it was beheaded. When he was taken, Elijah Muhammad was taken away, the Nation of Islam was beheaded, was betrayed, taken down by Farrakhan and Wallace. The government did not take it down, they took it down. That's a big lie they're telling, because I was present between 70 and 75. I was there until Elijah Muhammad departed. That's the falling away. Then the son of perdition would be revealed. What did they say? He says several, all that's called gods. Who's called gods here? Master Muhammad's called a god. Satan's called a god. That's what it means. He puts up all that's called gods. He sat in Elijah's seat. Then the seals are broken. The messenger breaks the seals in 1990. So elect starts rising. Those 144,000, right, that will receive the angel, the book of Revelation, Apocalypse. They receive it. They're in the process. They're rising now. Now we're going to follow Exodus from this point on. I mean, we'll go in more detail. And those of you who are familiar with the angel know those tablets you talk about are two of the seals. Because they was written from within and back, right? And that's the two tablets. There's two of them. right? Which also are two of the trumpets or two of the winds. But there you go. That's Moses. He has 2 tablets. And he just came back down from the mountains. These are also called mountains. 7 mountains. He come down from the mount. The 2 tablets. Also 2 of the winds. That's when war breaks out in the Middle East. That's about to happen. Any day now. Any day now. War is about to break out in the Middle East. So the war breaks out. America and Britain, Gog and Magog, their power is broken in heaven. False Israel is still under siege. So Jerusalem is surrounded by armies. This is where we are right now in time, brothers and sisters. There's some rejoicing going on while the war is going on because they haven't won, they haven't lost. But there's rejoicing. Now, there's some confusion about this. I'm going to allow some of that confusion to continue because a lot of it is confusing the enemy. But like I said, we don't want to tell them too much. But the war is going on. And some people are rejoicing. And who's rejoicing? That's the Christian blacks, the demons. Because the war is going on. And in their mind, that's a good thing. Because that's what they believe that will bring Jesus' return. Paul says he was going to accept Jesus. He's going to turn and kill all the Arabs, all the Muslims, and everybody else, and they're going to be an everlasting kingdom. So they're rejoicing because they want that war. They've been praying for it. Then, during this time, Joshua suddenly comes to NOI during the war. Here up top, now he's down here. But NOI is under Magog here. Now, what is that about? The 2 tablets, remember I told you that the first 2 are the 4 winds. And those 2 winds, according to Ezekiel, 4 winds is what cause or results in the rising of our nation. Results in the rising of the nation. And when Son of Man, break to the 4 winds, fall to the 4 winds, then all the nation came together. So here's the 2 tablets. So 2 of the 4 winds, right? They also call the mountains, also called Levites. I'm trying to leave all the symbols there so you have feel for the nuances going on here. So the 4 winds blow. That is dependent upon translation. But what it's saying is that the people just went to doing their own thing because Farrakhan had led them in that direction. It made them a mockery for the enemies. Because Farrakhan's Nation of Islam is a joke. Nobody respects it. It has no impact on anything. It's not relevant. Then comes the abomination of desolation. False Israel is taken down. All this is during the same period now, brothers and sisters. And America is also at war with Russia and Europe during this time, because once they're taken down, I didn't mention it earlier, but once the war, just before all of Israel is taken down, War of Armageddon starts, but we're not really focusing on that right here. The War of Armageddon is a European war, and America is fighting against Russia and its former allies, Western Europe. So they betray America and they go along with Russia, partly because the economy has just collapsed, as in chapter 18, because they had no oil and the economy collapsed. And they can't get any oil from the Middle East because they helped Gog and Magog fight Iran. When Michael and his angels went to war with the dragon and his angels, Michael and his angels are Rod and the shield. Dragon angels are House of Sod, and Gog, Magog, and Antichrist, America, Britain, and false Israel. And so now that since Western Europe helped America in their war in the Middle East, which they lost, now, and since the Shia has total control of the Middle East now, all the oil, they cut off the spigot from Europe. Only place Europe can get, West Europe can get oil from is Russia. And they're in war with Russia. And they can't get it from America. America won't give it. And if they could give it, they couldn't get it there in time because the only way they could get it by ship. And they couldn't get it there fast enough. And then they always had to worry about Russian intervention to stop it. So the only choice they have is to go on Russia's side and remain viable as a country. They have no economy. The economy is totally collapsed. So Russia refused their economy and they turn against America. So America's at war on both sides. Now, four winds is blown. Now, raise nation rise. It's all going to happen this year, brothers and sisters. All happening this year. In a few more days, then the nation rises. That's four winds blow, nation rise. Under duress. That's why they have to flee. Because when the false Israel was taken down, that's the abomination of desolation. We see Israel, we see Jerusalem surrounded by armies. Jerusalem is the capital of false Israel. Jerusalem is controlled by false Israel. That means false Israel is about to be taken out. They said, when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, their destruction, not their regeneration, not their salvation, not their redemption, but their destruction will soon follow. That means they're not the true seed of Abraham. And so, once that happens, we're going to go out that we're true seed of Abraham, and we have to flee because our lives will be in immediate, imminent danger, not from the police, not from the army, next door neighbor. That's why I say flee without going to the house, get your coat, anything, just go. But if you're fleeing from the army, if you're fleeing from the police force, you'd have time to do something. Here you have no time because your next door neighbor's going to be walking next door to blow your brains out. Because they know that now it's here, that they're devils, you're the angels, you're going to heaven, they're going to hell, and you're going to be empowered. And they already told in chapter 18 to do it to them as they had done to devil, as they done to you. They're going to wipe you out. You got a tiger by the tail, you can't let that tiger go. Once you let him go, he's going to turn and eat you. This is that golden calf. Golden calf is Sunni Islam. You don't know what golden calf is, you're guessing. Angel will tell you exactly what the golden calf is. That's Farrakhan's constant refrain. Y'all so evil. Y'all so wicked. Right? That's why y'all being punished. That's why y'all came over here. The devil just brought out what was in you. Y'all stop being so wicked. That's why you're being so punished. That's his constant refrain. He's a coward. And then when he got busted for having them worship Sunnism, instead of taking the weight, he blamed them. So it's their fault. Coward. But now, remember they say the Levites. Let's talk about Elijah Muhammad's Nation of Islam. You got the seed of Abraham, and you got the Levites. Both went through slavery together. But the Levites grafted in tribe, their priest tribe. And their job, that's the one that Elijah raised. He raised the widow's son, but he could not raise Lazarus. Only Suleiman could do that. But he raised them. And their job was to carry on and to build a bridge between Moses, the messenger, and the messenger of the covenant. But instead, as it tells you in the book of Mark, it was deceived by FARRAKHAN, and they built mansions for him and feathered his bed and forgot their mission, and so they had to be chastised. But during this time, just before it happens, that's when Suleiman comes during the war. Because when Joshua comes, remember, it's a sound of war, but not the sound of victory nor defeat when he enters in the camp. See? When he enters in the camp, right? And this happens when they have a separation of the demons from the saints. This is where you see in Mark where Legion and his demons are cast separated from the man that was possessed by them, and they were thrown back to their swine daddies, and then the man's mind was given back to him, which is Akbar or Revelation or the angel, which is software. This way, so all of the demons, all the Farrakhan people, they were all wiped out, they was kicked out. They're not destroyed. It makes you got to read this carefully, but they're all thrown out, finally separated. Because you read Mark, that kind of like balanced out, it tells you they was thrown out back to their swine daddies. Here's where the demons are cast out. They was up here, now they're down here. Back to their swine daddies. They're replaced by Iran and Syria, right? That's the new ark. New ark. New ark, New Jerusalem. Newark, New Jersey. The birthplace of Suleiman in 1948 when the sun star rose in the east, across Israel. That's it, brothers and sisters. That's what's going on here. Now, those who've been studying angel, they'll understand this. Those who have had, you probably won't understand. It's very confusing to you. Right? But we have people that will explain to you in detail if you want that kind of information. And you need that information because pretty soon, you're witnessing things right now, you just don't realize it. Pretty soon, they're going to be, the flames are going to turn to a blaze, which you will not be able to dismiss. Demons cast out. So that's it, brothers and sisters. And you remember they talked about those that was grafted in while the sons and daughters was cast out? That's another way of explaining it. Okay, that's it, brothers and sisters. Okay, that's brothers and sisters. That's brothers and sisters. I wanted to show you how Angel Key explains everything I explains Exodus in detail. You need angel key to understand what all that means. I want to show one thing I probably didn't explain clearly enough, just so I can find it fast, real quick. It's not there. Hold on, brothers and sisters. Oh, there it is. I'm going to show you this, brothers and sisters. You see this, brothers and sisters? See what it says Arabs? Okay, I'm just highlighting that one. But for every nation, you see Iran and Syria, they would be gold because gold represents Islam. And every top of each of those nations is the Islamic part of it. And generally, the Christian part is the bottom part. Right? So I just outlined the Asian nation. So Arabs are the golden part of the Asian nation. They're the golden part because they're the Islamic part. Right? But the Asian nations represents the calf. That's where you get the golden calf from. Golden calf. And Sunnism is the golden calf. Farrakhan is trying to get the people to worship. Elijah told him no. Says that he would take and crush it when he can return. Now they mean literally Elijah's return. They're talking about Angel Key. He represents the fourth wind. So I'm not going to go in detail about that. But you have to understand that's what that, because you don't know what the golden calf is. You're just guessing. Angel tell you exactly what it is. So where you see a top Levites up there, they would be the gold. Now I'll give you another example here. We see elect right there. Let me find where that is. Elect. See? They're the golden part, the original nation. See? And Iran and Syria will be the golden part, or the European nations. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. We're going to leave it there. We leave it there, brothers and sisters. I'll have a part 2. We'll go into more detail. Meant to do that today. Things came up. I had to shorten this quite a bit. I plan to go into more detail about that. So if any have any questions, anything, said you can contact the people that's supporting this. They'll be glad to bring you up to speed. But these things will happen this year in your face. And Farrakhan, Silas, Royal, Fifth Angel, Seventh Angel, Malachi, or Melchizedek, all these people, they haven't a clue. They're pulling crap out of their ass and calling you honey. So you want to keep listening to them. You're going to pay a significant price because your life is in danger. But these people are out to get rid of you. The less how do you put it? I'm not saying exactly right. I'm paraphrasing. They want to destroy the true Israel, make their name, destroy them, and make the name of Israel be known no more. I'm not saying it correctly, brothers and sisters. They want to put an end to you because you are the apple of God's eye. And the consequences has caught up with them. They try to say Jesus abrogates all consequence. Bullshit. Consequence is the most fundamental aspect of the universe, fundamental property of the universe. It's what the universe is based on. Every action has to offer equal reaction, justice. There's no exceptions. Never have been an exception. There ever will be. And no blood of Jesus Christ or anybody else We're going to change that. Consequences caught up with them. They fooled you. Now they want to take you down with them. But you see, America's falling apart before your eyes. You haven't seen one good thing happen since 2020. In fact, you haven't seen good things happen since 1990, actually. 1619 to 2019. Read the covenant of Abraham. That belongs to us. That's our sacrifice, our reward. 1619 to 2019. 20 years, enslavement and affliction. 2020, be a plague that will kill the firstborn. That means the elderly. And pass over us. And they know that's what happened. They've been lying to somebody, dropping us like flies. Just Google the World Health Organization, and they make it clear that they made it publish a paper a couple of months ago, saying they don't understand why this plague is not affecting Black Africa, Haiti, and any place else where most of the blacks are. And they don't talk about killing you like flies anymore, do they? Because it was a lie to begin with. False Israel is catching it worse than anybody else. Now there's 9 more plagues. There was 10 plagues altogether. The other 9 plagues are referred to the War of Armageddon, was European war. I don't talk about that here. That's war. I did mention a little bit. America is going to be a war in Europe. Dollar's going to turn on them. That's the War of Armageddon. It's going to take place over in Europe. Not this Ukraine, Russian, American thing. That comes under the category of wars and rumors of wars. The real war is going to take place, I said, in the Middle East, when war breaks out in heaven between Michael's angels and Dragon's angels. That's going to trigger Armageddon. When America's kicked out, they're going to immediately go to war in Europe. There'll be insurrection here, sword within and sword without. America's going to be on the deathbed with no friends and no time, extreme pain with no relief until death. Assalamu alaikum.